An ultimatum. It's a word that hangs heavy in the air, a declaration often laced with tension and consequence. In essence, an ultimatum is a final demand, a line drawn in the sand of negotiation. It's a statement that says, this is it, this is my non-negotiable requirement. Two key elements define a true ultimatum. First, it must present a clear and specific demand. Vague threats or implied consequences lack the necessary force of an ultimatum. Second, it must carry a defined consequence for non-compliance. This consequence should be clearly understood by both parties and significant enough to motivate action. Ultimatums are not threats. Threats are aggressive attempts to intimidate, often lacking specific demands or consequences. Ultimatums, while serious, aim to establish clear expectations and potential outcomes. They are tools of last resort designed to break through impasse and force a decision. Imagine walking into a negotiation and immediately throwing down an ultimatum. The atmosphere would likely turn frigid, the other party immediately on the defensive. Ultimatums, by their very nature, escalate tension and can damage relationships. They should never be your opening move. Instead, view ultimatums as a last resort, a tool to be used sparingly and strategically. Exhaust all other avenues of negotiation before resorting to an ultimatum. Explore every possible compromise, listen actively to the other party's perspective, and seek creative solutions. Only when these efforts have been exhausted and a stalemate seems inevitable should you consider issuing an ultimatum. This ensures that you've demonstrated a willingness to negotiate in good faith and that your ultimatum is a measured response, not an impulsive act. The principles of ultimatums apply across various aspects of life, from high-stakes business deals to personal relationships. Let's examine some examples. A supplier, after repeated attempts to secure a fair price for their goods, might issue an ultimatum to a client. If we don't agree on a price increase of 5% by the end of the week, we'll be forced to cease deliveries. This ultimatum is a strategic move to ensure that the supplier's business remains profitable and sustainable. A partner, tired of unfulfilled promises, might say, if you don't start prioritizing our relationship and making an effort to spend quality time together, I'm going to have to reconsider our future. This ultimatum is often a last resort, a plea for change to save a relationship that is on the brink of falling apart. A parent, frustrated with a teenager's disregard for curfew, might say, if you don't start coming home on time, you'll lose your driving privileges for a month. This type of ultimatum is a common parenting tool used to instill discipline and responsibility in teenagers. These examples highlight the diverse contexts in which ultimatums can arise. Whether in the corporate world, personal relationships, or family dynamics, ultimatums serve as a powerful tool to enforce boundaries and expectations. The key takeaway is that regardless of the situation, an effective ultimatum remains clear, specific, and tied to a meaningful consequence. By being direct and unambiguous, ultimatums can drive the desired change and help maintain order and respect in various aspects of life. Issuing an ultimatum is not about aggression. It's about clarity and resolve. It's a way to communicate your boundaries and expectations in a professional and respectful manner. Your delivery should be firm but respectful, conveying the seriousness of the situation without resorting to threats or anger. This approach ensures that your message is taken seriously and not dismissed as emotional outburst. First, clearly state your non-negotiable demand. Be specific and direct, leaving no room for ambiguity. Use I statements to own your position and avoid blaming or accusing the other party. This helps in maintaining a constructive tone and keeps the focus on the issue at hand. For example, instead of saying, "You always disregard my needs," try, "I need you to prioritize spending quality time together." This shifts the conversation from blame to a request for change. Next, outline the specific consequence of not meeting your demand. Make sure the consequence is clear and directly related to the issue. This consequence should be something you're willing and able to follow through with. Consistency is key to maintaining credibility. Avoid empty threats or unrealistic consequences, as these will only weaken your position. Instead, focus on realistic outcomes that you can enforce. Finally, emphasize that the decision rests with the other party. This empowers them to take responsibility for their actions and the resulting consequences. Empower them to make a choice while reiterating the importance of their response. This approach fosters mutual respect and understanding. For example, you could say, "I understand this is a difficult decision, but I need you to understand how important this is to me." This shows empathy while still maintaining your stance. By being clear, firm, and consequential, you can navigate difficult conversations with confidence and integrity, ensuring that your needs are met while maintaining professional relationships. Delivering an ultimatum is only half the battle. The true test of your resolve comes in the moments after, in the often uncomfortable silence that follows. This is where the urge to cave, to soften your stance, or offer a quick compromise can be overwhelming. Resist this urge, hold your ground. The silence, while unnerving, is a crucial part of the process. It allows the other party time to process the ultimatum, weigh their options, and formulate a response. Remember, you've already exhausted other avenues of negotiation. You've reached this point because it's truly important to you. Now is the time to trust your instincts, stand by your principles, and allow the ultimatum to serve its purpose. Being on the receiving end of an ultimatum can be jarring. The natural reaction might be to feel cornered, defensive, or even angry. However, it's crucial to approach the situation strategically, avoiding impulsive reactions that could escalate the conflict. First, take time to process the ultimatum. Don't feel pressured to respond immediately. Ask for clarification if any aspects are unclear. This will buy you time to assess the situation and consider your options. Next, evaluate the ultimatum's legitimacy. Is the other party's demand reasonable? Are the consequences of non-compliance genuinely concerning? If you feel the ultimatum is unfair or manipulative, clearly communicate your concerns. Remember, you always have the power to reject an ultimatum. This might mean walking away from the negotiation, but it's crucial to recognize that accepting an ultimatum you deem unreasonable can have long-term negative consequences. In the realm of personal relationships, it's easy to confuse ultimatums with setting boundaries. This confusion can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts that could have been avoided with clearer communication. While both involve stating your needs and limits, they differ significantly in their purpose and delivery. Boundaries are proactive and positive, aimed at fostering mutual respect and understanding. Boundaries are about protecting your well-being and establishing healthy relationship dynamics. They are not ultimatums. They are a way to communicate what you need to feel safe and respected in a relationship. For example, telling your partner, "I need some space to unwind after work before engaging in lengthy conversations," is setting a boundary. This allows you to recharge and be more present in your interactions. It's about communicating your needs, not issuing a demand. Boundaries are respectful and considerate, ensuring that both parties feel heard and valued. Ultimatums, on the other hand, are often used as a last resort to address a pattern of unacceptable behavior. They are reactive and can come across as controlling or manipulative. They carry an inherent consequence for non-compliance. Ultimatums can create a power struggle, where one person feels they must comply or face negative repercussions. For example, saying, "If you continue to dismiss my feelings and refuse to attend couples counseling, I'm moving out," is an ultimatum. It sets a clear consequence for specific behavior. Understanding this distinction is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships. Knowing when to set a boundary and when an ultimatum might be necessary can help navigate complex emotional landscapes. Boundaries foster respect and understanding, while ultimatums, when used inappropriately, can create resentment and damage trust. By clearly communicating your needs and limits, you can build stronger, more resilient relationships. Negotiation, by its very nature, is unpredictable. Even the most carefully crafted ultimatum doesn't guarantee a specific outcome. The other party always retains the power to choose their response, and that response might not always align with your expectations. This is where the true art of negotiation comes into play. In embracing uncertainty, and adapting to the ever-changing dynamics of the interaction. Delivering an ultimatum should never be about trying to control the other party or force them into submission. It's about clearly communicating your limits, setting the stage for a decision, and being prepared for any outcome. Remember, sometimes the most powerful negotiations are the ones we walk away from. Understanding your own non-negotiables and being willing to walk away from a deal that doesn't serve your best interests is a testament to your strength as a negotiator.